Flashpoint Beyond, issue 2, Jeff Johns and Jeremy Adams and Tim Sheridan. Zermatic was on the art as well as someone else, I think. So
we have Yannin.
Yannin, that's who it was. Yeah, Yannin's on one page. So I'm not gonna lie, I almost didn't read this.
Me too. Okay.
Right? And Joe, why it is? It's that first page. That first page made me almost just rage quit.
I was at work and I was reading it early in the morning. You know, I got there a little early, had time to kill. And I opened up my books and I'm like, I'll get Flashpoint Beyond out of the way. I looked at that first page and put it away. I was like, I don't have time for this in the morning. I need my coffee first.
Joe, the funny thing is, though, I actually went a couple of pages ahead and I was like, okay, it calms down. It's not actually overstuffed after that. It's just that first page has far too many narration boxes. And because it's in front of like a pinboard with like articles and photographs, it looks even messier as a result. Right. So it just looks like a chore to read. And
this, I classify this story as like, it's bad, but I like that it's bad. Right? Like it's almost self-aware, you know?
I think I'm curious as to what's changed things and what Batman's doing and where the stuff at the end of the issues is going to go. But like, yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. Like, so we had that whole running thing last issue where Harvey Dent's kid wants to learn to shoot and Penguin's just letting him do it. And in this issue, Penguin's like, oh, the kid's asking about learning how to use explosives. And Thomas is like, do it. It made me laugh because it's absurd, but
and I forgot he owned the casino because it's been forever since I've thought of Flashpoint. And I remember that cover of the Azzarello and Riso Batman book that they did, the 3 issues, where, you know, there's a poker chip. So them seeing the poker chip in this one again, like I forgot the casino was his main source of income. You know, he's not a doctor. He's Batman and casino mogul, which is hilarious to me.
The big thing is he's back in Gotham, obviously, and he hears that Psycho Pirate is like committed suicide in his cell, and Psycho Pirate, as he talks about his narration, like when reality changes, he remembers everything, right? That's kind of Psycho Pirate, or one of his gimmicks anyway. So he's written things in the wall like I don't think I'm the real Roger Hayden, which is kind of a curious idea. The idea that this is maybe more of a duplicate world than it is like stuff's been changed.
Yeah, like you said, like a copy. It's like a copy of a world.
And I think the fact that there's a bit of there's some discussion at the end about a snow globe, which I think actually thematically ties into that idea that this is inside like a big snow globe, effectively. But he runs into Hilda Dent, who wants to talk about her son, and they have a bit of back and forth, and he tries to ask her like, hey, like, this suicide next door wasn't a suicide. Did anyone go in or out? Because it's made to look like a suicide, right?
Right.
He immediately is like, this is like clearly been presented as such, and she's looking at the chip and it's got the scratches like the Harvey Dent coin, and she starts talking about Bruce and is very hostile towards him. She actually turns into Martha during the scene for a little bit, and then
the Joker,
and she doesn't have the Joker paint on though. It's just like regular Martha,
the red hair, it's shorter. She changes, so it's what he's seeing in this, which I thought was an odd story choice, right? Because he's seeing a mother that's mourning her kids and family, and that's her future to him.
Well, she calls him a bad father, and then he punches the window in the door in out of anger.
Not proving her wrong.
And she ends up with like blood in her face, and she looks kind of two-faced. So pretty funny. Again, I don't think it's supposed to be funny. But...
No, that's what I mean. Like, is it self-aware? Is it not? I don't know, because like, we found the death of Barry Allen very funny.
Oh, it was hilarious. Mean, I've been saying since issue 2 technically, but issue 0 happened, so it's the 3rd issue. This is car crash comic book. I can't look away in a car crash way.
Right. Like, again, it's not good, and I'm reading it, and I'm not going like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens next. In the way I'm invested in the story, it's like, what else are they going to do? right?
Yeah.
Like,
And I will say, yeah, there is that glorious full page spread. There's like a woman being mugged, and Batman has this full. I say Batman, Thomas Wayne Batman.
yeah, Doctor
Lands
Batman.
lands in the alleyway, and there's like lightning behind him. It's a fantastic page.
So I'm trying to see how this ties into the whole Dark Crisis thing and Pariah and the Snow Globe, and because remember, Doctor Batman was going around with President Superman. That's how we got that name. So when I brought that up that he's Doctor Batman, so now I'm trying to think, like, is this a world?
And they mentioned Dark Crisis in the book because earlier the other cop or whoever it was said that Psycho Pirate keeps saying that he's hiding here from a Dark Crisis.
Yeah.
So it's actually running concurrently in some way. So, I mean, let's say all the Justice League right now are trapped in their own worlds, maybe like Psycho Pirate is, or like Thomas Wayne is. Maybe that's because Thomas Wayne, like, who killed him? Did he die in a similar way to the Justice League where he got disintegrated? I feel like he may have
Not quite disintegrated, but it was by the darkness. It was the dark. It was before Darkseid was possessed, I think.
So I wonder if it's like a set, like taking people and putting them in their own bubbles,
kind of like Wally is, or not Wally, Barry is.
Yeah.
In that Golden Age, Silver Agey looking.
That's right. He's got this perfect weird 50s looking like life.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if this is something similar, and we're just getting the Flashpoint.
What was that in? What was that scene in? Was that the end of?
There was I think Justice League Incarnate.
Was it okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to remember what that was, but yeah. So Thomas is like beating the shit out of people. Captain Boomerang's one of the muggers. I actually, he kind of said, he started speaking to himself in his narration, and he says that, well, this world is not supposed to exist. So when I fix everything, everything will go back to normal. So he's kind of like, I could just kill everyone I want, and it wouldn't matter.
Justifying it, yeah.
Because everything's going to be reset anyway, so therefore it doesn't matter. But he actually does hesitate when he's holding the gun. And he sort of sees, like, almost as if he's aiming the gun at Bruce, and he sort of has a memory of that. So it's like he's actually hesitating. But just before he can make his choice, who shows up but Flashpoint Superman in his weird outfit?
Yep. The -1.
Yeah.
Of it all. Yeah.
And he says everything matters, because he just said it didn't. And then we get our last couple of pages, which is the little kid from the Time Masters talking about, hey, Bruce, You got that watch from Manhattan and that, but who you took the snow globe from, like that's bringing on some heat. Like they're going to come.
Yeah.
So
which makes me wonder, because he's talking about how, he's talking about Rip Hunter, and you don't do that, and it causes ripple, and I wonder who they're talking about. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I am curious. It has to be said. The stuff in the end of the issues, I'm really intrigued, and how it ties in any way to Dark Crisis. I am fascinated by, but
because it feels like Bruce has something to do with this, and I don't know if I'm reading it right or not.
Well, the thing is though, like when I said it's running concurrently to Dark Crisis, obviously Bruce is technically missing and or dead in Dark Crisis, so the Bruce parts had to have taken place beforehand, or possibly after Dark Crisis, depending on what the reveal is of what he's doing. Right. Maybe this is something he did after Dark Crisis happens, or maybe it's something he did just before. I don't know, but I am morbidly curious, I suppose, is the best way I can describe my interest in this book. Which, to be fair, it's impressive that I still feel that way after 3 issues of it, because typically you're morbidly curious for the first issue, then you see what it is, and you're like, okay, I can stop reading this now. I am still morbidly curious after 3 issues, so it's at least doing one thing right.
I agree. It's like you said it right. It's car crash comic books.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what else to say, to be honest. Some of the art is pretty good. Like, I can't fault the art. Like I say, that full page spread of Batman landing in the alleyway is pretty spectacular. It almost caught me off guard, because like nothing in the art wasn't bad before then, but there was nothing flashy. There was nothing like, oh, here's some great pages or whatever. But then you hit that page, it's like, oh shit, this is like a pinup all of a sudden. Like, where did this come from?
Zermanico has those flourishes that we've seen in Flash and other books.
Well, Zermanico's a great artist. I mean, if anything, I'd say he's punching below his weight in this.
Yeah.
But
maybe that's the point. Maybe we're gonna build to more you know, like you said, it's more journeyman stuff where like, yeah, the art's fine, but nothing notable. So he's almost building up these moments as the story goes. But yeah, not 100% on it. But yeah, I'm glad it wasn't just me that has these same feelings. I'm glad that we at least line up on that. So
yeah, well, we'll see where it goes next issue.
Yeah, right?
Because it could be anywhere, quite frankly. What are you giving Flashpoint Beyond issue 2?
I'm in that 6.5.
This is... I'm tempted to give it a 7, but not because it really deserves it, but because that's the level of which I'm enjoying it, but not necessarily all for the right reasons.
Yeah, I get you.
So, there's something to be said for that.